Where's the thing at here? Okay. Um,
Wanna-
establish a quorum. We have a quorum. Yeah. All right. Ready to move on?
Mhm.
All right. Meeting starting. All right. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Seconded? Yes.
Ready to move on?
And then you.
We have to vote.
You could ask for public comment.
Oh, public
Mm.
comment. Public comment? None? Yes? No? All right.
Okay.
Ready?
So we all agree.
We agree? Yeah.
We vote.
I.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Number 4, commission date and time chain.
Three public input.
Oh, 3. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I thought
All right. Number. Yeah, that was confusing. All right. Number 3, public comment.
Hi, my name is Adeline Jones. I'm currently proud to be the mayor of Blue Lake. I'm just here to let you know that I'm the alternate as the liaison for the city council because when Elizabeth McKay stepped down from the council, I was her alternate. So I'm here almost as a viewer, as public actually, because I want to see the commission operating as an independent unit. And I thank you for your service on this commission.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I also thank you. Your time's valuable, and everybody who donates, that's fantastic. Um, I think art can play a really big part in Blue Lake. I think if it's done right. Um, I think your input should be done on many, many things where it hasn't potentially been done in the past. I think you should be the lead on art. I mean, that's your field of expertise. So if anything comes before anybody, any staff member or any council members, I think they should bring that to you first thing because you get a chance then to give input. And I think that input direction from the get-go is the most important thing, rather than having things be 9/10 of the way done and then all of a sudden they come to you to rubber stamp it. That's just the way I feel about how commission should be respected. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Any more public comment? No? Motion. We ready?
So were we supposed to do the minutes at some point? Were they?
No, so we didn't have those done in time for the packet, so
Okay.
I'm just handing them out as information.
Okay.
We'll put it off for future. agenda.
Thank you.
And is there someone taking notes for this one as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
You're
it
gonna
for
take,
yourself.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. We ready?
Mhm.
Next. Number 4, commission date and time change discussion action.
Here, you're reading the wrong thing. Do you have one of these?
No.
Here, there it is. It's bottom.
Pink.
It's pink.
Pink?
Pink. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
He's got it.
I got it now.
This is the last one.
I have it.
Yeah.
The other one looked similar to this.
Yes.
It had the list of everything.
Yes.
It got me this far. All right. No wonder there was something a little off. Okay. Number 4, town square art panel discussion action selection.
Great. So I'm bringing this item to the commission. This is part of the town square project, and I think we talked a little bit about it at the last meeting. That we were talking about doing some art panels on the restroom structure, and Patricia Sennett was super kind, and she put together a binder of some of her art pieces that she thought might be applicable to the space. And so I wanted to present this to the commission and get your feedback. I'd like to be able to select at least 3 pieces that we could look at installing at the town square. I think in the future we'll have other opportunities as well, including like the flags on the light pole and just other opportunities for art installation. But she's got a really nice binder here with some really beautiful work, and I think it's exciting to be able to have a local artist showcased. And even though it will be a vinyl banner to start out with, in the future we can look for different types of installation to feature local artists. So I don't know how you guys want to do this, if you want to spend the time to look through them individually, if you want to have maybe move this to the sculpture mural group. You have an ad hoc that could maybe do a little bit more intensive talking, and then bring back a recommendation. Or if you guys would like to, you have some time tonight, we have a really light agenda, if you wanted to look through this and maybe pick out a few. I think the important thing on to consider is the vertical application. So it does kind of narrow down the focus of what she's presented. But I would like to get your feedback and recommendation, and so we can look at moving forward. We do plan to open the town square in the next, probably by next week. We're hoping to get the sod delivered on Thursday. So we're going to be prepping it for installation this week. Once we get the sod installed, we'll pretty much be able to open the full town square. We'll still be doing the trellis structure, but at that point, we'll be able to open the splash pad and, full use of the square. So, starting to, kind of wrap up some of these projects would be really nice to get kind of off our plate and move on to the next project. So
Do
I
you have
don't know.
any post-its that we could look through that?
Um,
put
no, not with,
Post-its
but I
on?
could run over and grab some.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the drawer.
Oh, there might be some in there. There's all kinds
We
of stuff
found
in there.
pens here.
Yeah, that way we just tag which
Yeah.
ones we like.
Yeah, maybe each pick 3 or something, the top 3. Yeah, that would be
Works for me.
great.
How many are there? Looks like
Well,
probably.
There's quite a few, but like I
Yeah.
said, some of them just don't really lend themselves
Oh,
to,
to a vertical.
vertical
Okay.
application. So, and
Shall we
some
gather?
of them are a little bit like they might be maybe from a different area.
Hmm.
Some of them I just like the owls are amazing, but that's got some cultural connotations
Right.
that it would
Can
be
we
nice to skip over that.
can we take a few moments to look at them, or
Yeah, if however you
as
guys
as
want
a
to
group?
do this, yeah, you
Alright.
have time. Like I said, you have a really light
We could gather.
agenda,
Should we
and
take them out of the binder so we can
however
pass
you
them
wanna
around,
do
or
it.
are we going to keep it all in one lump? Okay.
they're
You want to go
in.
get post-its, and
Yeah,
then
go
we
get
can just
Yeah, I can go and grab Post-its, and if you guys want to look through that.
Do they have to be in a certain order?
No,
Okay.
no.
So just go take a look.
and maybe you wanted to lay them out, and then you can.
Oh, yeah, we
also,
can lay them out. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be good actually from artistic point of view. Contrast.
table. Sorry, we're off camera.
Are we?
Maybe if we do it over here. Want to do it over here?
Right here's a good place because you can have multiple rows actually.
Yeah, move it.
Yeah.
There you go.
You have multiple rows. So. You put the cost. Yeah, I feel much fun.
Well, you might want to take out the ones that are, don't lend themselves to the. Yeah, using vertical ones.
Distinguish.
But still, there's a lot.
Yeah, this one's not bad.
Have a card, just. Give my mother on that on there. Oh, good. Okay, that was funny. Okay, so owls, let's think about owls.
I didn't realize what it was.
Yeah, it has a significance to some native tribes. So it's not a good omen.
Okay.
Okay.
As far as I
Those are all,
understand it, that's my understanding.
That open?
those are not very long.
That's good to know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is this?
Horizontal.
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 Is it?
That can be the line, actually. That's probably going, that's vertical. Flower is going up. The plant is going up.
Yeah, it's not in the line.
Is that a hair? So how do you little flags and
Oh, great.
maybe feature in the color?
It's nice, sunflower, farming on Robert, yeah. She is nice, except I'm allergic.
It's a really nice fire, so they're still short.
They're very important.
Do you want a particular?
Well,
color?
I love
You're gonna
sunflowers.
choose green.
So we're picking into three.
Yeah.
Three favorites.
Yeah.
All they are.
Coloring. If you get these.
I took the whole thing, so that I just have to shop.
Yeah. That's better than everything.
Right.
So if a bee flies in here, you know what to do.
In Navajo,
You have an EpiPen?
Orange to the pepper, but I can't see them all here. Yeah.
I moved this chair because I can't get through.
I'll pause for the owl's symbol of death.
Oh.
What's that?
We were talking about the symbolism of owls in
Oh,
pet
yeah,
culture.
yeah, if we could not
Bad
do
omen.
owls, that would be great.
We took them out.
I love it, it's a symbol of owls, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Well, as a messenger, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily, it's just a.
So this was Navajo.
Oh, yeah.
So they're all.
Yeah, our local tribes, it's.
Yeah.
The owls.
It's funny that it's the same animal that still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a. Now goes way south.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's like a good
Flat too.
connection between.
It's a really nice composition. And
Whereas like
Stories.
Which one?
oh, it's really
Like
nice.
Europe,
It's got, I mean, it's a
the
good
dragon
but I think
is a
it's right here. It's one that's from the
evil
north.
creature, whereas in Japan,
Right.
China, they're majestic, left for sign of wisdom and power.
Oh, owls.
No,
No,
dragons.
we went
Oh,
to
dragons.
dragons.
Oh.
So
We love
ju-
owls.
just as
Went
a
from owls to dragons in a
Yes.
second. Left me
well, yeah,
behind.
it's just saying some animals are.
Right.
I'd like to get the opinion of our local tribes, see what they feel about it. Maybe there's no problem. So it'd be nice to stay with the local opinion. It might be a positive thing locally. You don't know till we ask them, I guess. I'll go out.
What if none of us?
How much time is there to decide?
If you, if you kind of had a consensus, we could just move forward, but midnight would be nice. Tonight, keep it compromise.
You have 5 minutes.
Well, then whatever, right? Takes me a while. 72.
I voted.
Me too.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm also trying to think of
We
like.
could change out maybe the ones that don't have many votes, kind of reduce your. What you have there.
That is one. I'm gonna put all the ones that are outranked for here so we can see how they look. See that they're.
Oh, these.
Oh, I see.
And then.
Mm-hmm. Right, because we're gonna have to narrow it down.
That's just
The ones that have one. Or two.
I thought you're out to the chicken, you got a perfect memory.
no. Far from the perfect memory. So that's something I'm really interested in.
Selective perfect memory.
Yeah. When you ask me what the final.
Does everybody vote?
6 inches.
Oh,
When
one
will
more.
I'm sure 3 6 work.
But you're like.
So we're gonna have like a final round of picking at the end here. Decide between those.
I think they'll look just nice and different too. Well, so much approach the town square.
So
Now,
They won't be, they'll be on either side, right?
the way to.
I'm not sure yet.
Right.
Okay. She was just very excited that we asked, so. Okay, I'll. Yeah, I just wondered how much.
There are exceptions. There's a Mercedes,
They all.
all of that.
They're on different
And
sides.
there's
There'll be two.
like one model.
Well, why don't you guys keep it forward, just in case we do
Oh, we gotta pick four?
One side is gonna be a community bulletin board, so we have two sides, so depending if we decide if we wanna be wider or two on each side that are a little bit narrower. And
This
allow
one,
us
this little one right here. The one like, one of them.
You said four?
Yeah, let's choose four.
May I have one more? Maybe we should try to choose from what's near now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then we'll see who's left. Take our bids.
This one has better composition than that one. But I like the bird, a little bird on it. The problem is the bird is hidden in that tree.
Is that them?
No, I know, I really like this.
Is that the same kind of bird though? Or is it this one? Right, so that could be. No, that's. So that's the other one. Yes.
Got picked. That was fun. Well, then that's this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the first one that got picked.
What kind of bird is it?
Might be on the back.
Canada J. Gray Jay.
It doesn't have any negative juju?
Well, maybe we should look.
It's not Canada.
Yeah, well,
Might not be
what I'm saying.
Let's
You.
Canada J.
So this one has two. Let's take it.
Well, you see, like when I saw that, yeah, I lied. That one was. And that's big.
Steel as a bird eggs too.
Well, it's got.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would you still, you haven't voted?
No, I voted on mine.
Oh, you have, okay. We'll just.
I have no internet.
Appearance of a gray jay in the morning is a good omen. Sweet. To many Western First Nations. Whatever that means.
It's a good
This
omen.
one, that's western, so the west coast. Our side of the states.
So the ones with most, so this only has one, this only has one. So not one, that, stuff into it. Okay.
Well, let's make our pick.
Two. So we have three. Oh, so that's six. This one is picked, but I'm just saying if it's, you know.
Yeah, you said it was
series,
gonna
that
be
it
a
might
backside.
nice to- Do you still have one?
Have next one. Marble gardens.
So should we? This one has three.
It's because the other boats got spread onto the other one.
Yeah. So I wonder if we should take the ones off the ones that we didn't use and.
And just give everybody one final vote or something.
Always.
Isn't that finishing?
Yeah, that might mean.
Yeah. We have one pick for sure, right?
Yes, that's you.
That one,
That's
that
right.
one.
We can just do a final vote with
It's true.
extra ones.
We
Just a final round of picks, right?
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, just vote again.
Nope. No.
Just
I don't know. I want to make the.
I just pick one and just
So we're gonna
get on.
pick ones that go on together. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Also has a lot of food, so maybe not that one.
Well,
One.
I'm just
If
gonna.
everybody votes one more,
Yeah, just
or you're gonna vote for the same one that you voted for?
that I did.
Well, if we vote for one more, can we do that?
Yeah, if we can, I think. It's a new round. Right?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna vote for this guy.
okay,
The composition is better.
there you go. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, then put your vote on that, okay, and that way, that one's on, okay, so that's set there.
Yeah.
You know what?
Did it?
You got a bird and you got
Yes,
Water on it. There you go.
Two.
Blue Lake, right?
But
There you
then
go.
do we want a bunch more birds or do we want like a bee in there? with
Oh,
flowers, right? To
interesting.
like mix it up.
But we need to do 4.
We need
Yeah.
more.
We need 4 images.
Yeah, if you give me 4, that
Then
would
why don't we
work.
just
This
go?
one,
Why don't we
this
just go with
one,
these
this
ones?
one is nice. Cause then that's a lot of the same kind of
Oh,
colors.
okay. I agree with the butterfly. I agree with the butterfly. Or we could do flowers.
What do you guys think? Because it's
Yeah, but
different than the rest.
Butterfly and what are the flowers? Does anybody like resonate?
Yeah, I picked one of this that I think got put over here.
This one.
I think that's all there.
Yeah, I do too. Okay.
Cause I had a flower one that I.
But you know, we
Yeah.
we kind of have a blue theme going. So I mean, that blue flower with the bird with the bee on it fits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if you take control like here, so it creates like a theme.
Oh.
Blue lake.
No, there's.
Then they can all match. If you have one that's orange, they're all blue, and then one orange one, it's like kind of different.
You wanna see?
So cute.
So you got
I'm just gonna, that's a beef cutter.
bird,
Yeah.
water, butterflies, and flowers, and then bees.
Oh, thanks, yes.
See?
Oh, no, we got one there. I see.
Well, I mean, I didn't vote. We didn't vote on this. I mean, what do you guys think?
Maybe we'll just pick one with bee.
That's pretty good.
Personally, I don't know.
Worry a little bit about once we blow this up, because it's just a little bit hazy. I'm worried that it might not be as
Sharp.
crisp as
Yeah, it doesn't look real sharp. So it's
I'm all for this because then you got like,
Yeah, that's
you got
sharp.
like, you got like a small,
Yeah.
small yellow, and huge yellow, and it's beautiful, vibrant yellow, like a sun, right?
Sure. Okay.
Blue,
All right.
yellow, and
Got it?
real hunky yellow.
You guys okay?
Yeah, all for it.
And then we can always do something else with the others.
Yeah, they're all
Figure it
beautiful.
out.
I mean, I love this heron.
Yeah.
So cool. I just think, yeah, it does well in a big.
Does anybody know what the sunflower's native meaning is? Is there a meaning behind the sunflower?
So about cancer.
We have, well, there's an American
Right.
sunflower. The sunflower is
I
the
think we should make fun of. Yeah, significances.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not making fun of it.
No, I know.
very important. It feeds a lot of birds.
Sunflowers.
My yard is
True.
full of sunflowers.
And a lot of people don't know that Catherine from.
Yeah, that's right. I've shared them.
They're a beautiful plant.
Yeah, Lutheran lady for them.
In many cultures, these flowers represent the sun and are seen as symbols of hope and optimism.
Good.
Long life and lasting happiness.
Oh boy, that's good.
Useful. Good fortune and positive opportunities.
Were these?
Important order,
No.
I feel like.
No? Okay. This is nice though. This is looking nice. That's gorgeous. Yeah.
I was trying to go through and get the vertical.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are together.
Okay. You know, wants to save these.
No, this was not.
Okay.
Buy one for a price.
Well done, Drew.
Right, you guys, thank you.
Are we ready? We're gonna have a community comment on that. Go right ahead. You are welcome.
I do, and the question for the community is not quite clear how often this is to be changed out. You know, you're doing it for. It sounds like you're trying to advertise for an artist. So how often? And in the future, maybe rather than just having one artist, you could reach out and have varied artists to give everybody a chance rather than being in one genre or one person's thing. I think diversity is a good thing. And then, of course, one of the biggest things is what is the cost? I mean, if this is costing, $75 and you do it once a month to give different artists a chance, that's really different than if it's costing $250, to do it. So I think I know sometimes art's not to be put on a financial basis, but that's what it is. Your ability to have as many artists out here. And then the other question is there some kind of a little plaque or something that's going to give that artist some advertising? And maybe where people could actually order those particular pictures if they really like them. I think it's a good venue to enable the artist to monetize this. And then also, what is the cost to actually use this particular artist's art? I'm sure it has value. They aren't expected to donate their art to you folks. So all those questions have to do a little bit more with the financial end. You may wish to ask and get those questions answered. That will enable you to understand how often you can afford to change these out and do more good for your artists. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Any more community comment? No? We ready? Good? All right. All right, let's move on to the next. Number 5. Art-based traffic calming installations discussion action. All right.
Yeah, so a lot of this discussion is
Thanks. So there's several opportunities that we've been looking at for art-based traffic calming that we've been working with the commission for quite a while now. And we actually have a couple of opportunities coming up soon that actually could come to fruition. One of them is the crosswalk by the school for the Greenwood road improvement project, truck route improvement project. So that's an opportunity. We've looked at doing an art-based crosswalk in that area just to continue to raise awareness of children crossing and just being in a school zone. And art is a great way to do that. We've seen numerous examples as we've discussed this over the last year or so, different styles that different communities have used, and we're not quite ready for an installation yet. We probably will be kind of towards the end of October. We're going to be doing final paving in October, depending upon the scheduling of the asphalt delivery. There's a lot of paving projects taking place right now. They just started another big one. So we have to kind of be in the queue for asphalt deliveries, but we're anticipating that in early October. So I wanted to just keep this on our radar. And this is another one. You guys do have an ad hoc for some of these. So you can do a little bit more dialoguing, because it's really hard, to think about a project and only meet once a month. And I think the use of an ad hoc is really important especially for a commission like this, where you need to be able to, talk and dialogue, do some research, and come up with some recommendations to bring back to your commission. So I was going to recommend that the commission consider adding this in with and adding the fire hydrant. I think we talked about this last meeting too. Sherry had made this recommendation that we kind of combine the traffic calming, the fire hydrant ad hoc. You do have a murals and sculptures ad hoc too. And I know because, you are limited on commissioners. I don't know if you want to just kind of lump all of those together, or you want to keep those separate. But it is an opportunity as we have projects coming forward. Be nice to start laying some groundwork and bringing forward a recommendation so we could actually act on it, and probably
So
at
is
the
there an ad
October.
hoc already established for I think Sherry Green?
You
For
ha-
murals and
you have murals and sculptures,
sculptures. I
and
think
then you
that's
guys
me and
started
Sherry,
one.
right?
Yeah. And then you guys started one for the hydrants, and that was Sherry, and can't remember who it was now. It ended up being Sherry by herself for some
I
reason.
think so.
So,
It might have been me as the
as a
liaison.
liaison, maybe.
Because nobody else was at that meeting that time.
Right.
So I could do it with her, the fire hydrant.
Yeah. And I mean, the fire hydrant one, I think we'll be bringing back, let's see here, September. We have the September deadline for the submissions for the fire hydrant project. And then I had planned on bringing it back to you guys in October, and then scheduling the paint day, probably the end of October, early November. So that one will come back to you guys for review. So it is important. I think maybe the ad hoc could take kind of a first round at looking at people's submissions and just helping give feedback. It'd also be nice if that ad hoc could help us do some outreach to get more participants, because we did want to reach out to all the businesses and different community groups and stuff to see about getting each one of those to, um, put in an application for one of the fire
So
hydrant
we're jumping
projects.
ahead just a second.
Yeah,
We're talking about
well,
this other one. So I'm wondering about who is the, I'm just trying to get everything straight. Who's the ad hoc committee for the art-based traffic calming installations?
Well, I think those were being combined
yeah,
with the fire hydrant.
Oh, so
yeah,
it'd
that
be
was the
you- So it'd be
recommendation.
you two. Because I can't. A third
No,
person can't be on it.
no, we were murals and sculptures. So Sherry was going to be on that one,
Okay.
but I think she's the only one who volunteered so far to be on that one that combines the calming installation and the fire hydrants.
So it would be you and Sherry.
On those two. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And okay. All right. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
if that's what you
Sure.
want to go for.
Yep. Unless anybody else wants to do it.
I can if you don't want to. Well, you can do it. That's
Well,
fine.
do you want? I feel like we're putting Sherry on things without her being here.
Mm, So she was already on the hydrant one, and you guys did talk about the last meeting combining it with the traffic calming. and
Okay.
Sherry was here for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
she
Okay.
volunteered
I wasn't.
last time.
Okay.
Yeah, you
All right.
weren't here.
Sure. Um. Okay. I'll just do it unless you want to do the other one. You could. Sherry could be on all three, and each one of us could be on another one. Which,
Right. Or, yeah. I mean, you could break them up. I was just thinking that because
Because we're
of your
small.
small
Yeah.
commission,
Mhm.
that I wasn't sure if you
Mhm.
wanted, but you're more than welcome to break them up as well.
That depends. Do you want to be on that?
It's fine. No, I think putting them together is great.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll be there.
Fire hydrant, traffic calming measures go great together.
Okay.
All on the street.
I do want to, I think, I like the fact that this is calling out to the community and getting submissions. I wonder if there's a way to do that for the traffic calming too, because I think the more the community gets involved with these things, the more on board they're going to be
Mhm.
with it,
Yeah,
because
and
it's going to be more perspectives and offers and, engagement. So.
right. The one in front of the school, we did reach out to the school originally
great.
too about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
school being involved in that
Yeah.
and maybe doing it as maybe not so much an art contest because,
Right.
there's definitely a defined framework to work within.
course,
It's
yeah.
got to be pretty simple. It can't be distracting in any way. So there's some parameters that we thought at least working with the school as well to come up with some ideas.
I think we talked about crayons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the primary colors, so
Oh, yeah,
keeping it
fun.
sort of simple. But I definitely think having the school involved since it
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be their crosswalk,
Yeah, I think
essentially.
that's great.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The kids could vote on like 2 different
Yeah,
proposals,
right.
maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Community comment?
I think it's great to have the kids. The other thing I have, and it's great to change that on a frequent basis if you can. I don't know if it's permanent artwork that's being put down in oils or something are actually embedded in concrete. I have had comment, and that's why I show up at these meetings because a lot of people don't. The people in this area are worried about the noise that happens when you put in non-flat surfaces because they're trying to sleep, and with all this construction here, they've had people driving over metal plates. And if you have rumble strips or anything there that comes up above ground level as far as art goes, any kind of thing with a depth to it, you're going to have noise, and they're objecting to that particular kind of thing because they live there and they like to sleep with their windows open. So that's just something when you design your art, it should be probably flat work more than something that's actually has relief to it. So strongly support it. You will find that most of these things, anything painted that's not actually stamped in with a die in the stamp, does tend to go away on a rather rapid basis. If you look at things all over the county, when they do the fake bricks and things like that, even the ones we have down in front of the store down in town, you'll see those are gone. And so you are looking at a useful life depending on how you install that. And I do recommend that you figure on changing them out as frequently as possible. Love to have the kids involved in all of them, basically. Get the young kids in art, and that's really good for them to work on it. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you. Anybody else want to comment? All right, we're gonna move on. We ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna move on to.
Fire
We're gonna
hydrant.
go on to 5 or 5, 6. We're gonna go to 6. Okay.
Fire.
All right, number 6, fire hydrant art project.
Yeah, so we did take the fire hydrant art project to the council at their last meeting, and they were very thankful for all the work that you guys have done to bring this project forward. And they did authorize us to release the project out to the public. So you guys have before you kind of the full application of what we pulled together. Sherry did a lot of research on this. I just kind of typed it up, mostly, poaching from other municipalities. I mean, this isn't, we're not making this up, so there was no reason to reinvent the wheel. But there is a full application and a process and some timeframes, and I'm hoping that the commission through the ad hoc and the commission overall will kind of help us do some outreach. Like I said, we have a lot of community organizations, and I think reaching out to those organizations to support and adopt a hydrant for an art project would be really fun. We do want to do it as a kind of a paint out day, so we have set some dates. That way we can also kind of promote this in the community and try and build some enthusiasm for it, and maybe have some stuff going on at the town square, maybe some music and some food, and just make it kind of a nice art day in town. So we do have the design submission period is from September 1st through the 30th. So it is released. Um, Design submission close date will be 4 o'clock on September 30th. Submission location is City Hall. And then we have submission selection on October 14th. And so that's essentially your meeting where you guys will select. And then we have just fall 2024 as the paint day. So it gives us a little bit of flexibility. Luckily, the fall is usually our nicest weather. So we'll kind of keep our fingers crossed for that. But yeah, it's a fun project. It's a pretty straightforward project. I've heard some concern about painting the hydrants and whether that impacts the viability of the hydrants, or if there's any problems with the fire department. And as you guys know, we are doing this in partnership with the fire department. The fire department's fully supportive of it. That was taken to our volunteer board to vote on that. All of the fire hydrants in Blue Lake are high flow hydrants. We don't have any issues, but we will make sure that all the caps are painted the appropriate color so that people know that. So there shouldn't be any problems. And the regulations do talk about, not painting the caps so they get stuck. They have to be able to be, used by the fire department. And there's regulations, if you look in here, about how you can paint them, what colors, no trademarks, no business logos, type things like that. And so I think it's pretty well thought out. Like I said, we just pretty much copied what other cities are doing. So we let them kind of figure it out, and then just kind of came in and utilized their knowledge. So if you want to hit up any of the groups that you're involved with, and I think it's a fun project, and I would really appreciate some extra outreach if possible. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions about that.
The
Anybody?
paint is being supplied.
So the city's going to supply the paint. We need to repaint our hydrants anyways, and that's on us to paint those and maintain the hydrants. So we are planning on supplying the paint, and we did talk at the last meeting of the commission about basically just picking the primary colors, and then people can mix them and create their own color swatches, but that way we know that we're using the correct paint. There will be some preparation too. So we'll, once we select the projects, we'll also work with everyone about going and prepping their hydrants. They do need to be kind of sanded down and cleaned up, and we can, we can help with that too. There's, we don't have a ton of hydrants, so, but we did also opened it up through for the whole community because we thought, well, what if someone in their neighborhood wants to have paint their hydrant? Why should we not allow them? So at first we talked about kind of focusing on the downtown, which is where I will put the emphasis on trying with this first go around, but we didn't want to limit if there was interest in other locations. So
Anybody else? Community comment? Anybody? We ready to move on? All right. Moving on to ad hoc committee updates, murals and sculptures.
There is no updates. Or no
Everybody?
updates.
No
I think
updates.
it's Sherry and I, and Sherry has been away for a while, and
Okay.
I was away for a while. So yeah,
Oh.
we have not met about.
Well, it's always things get busy in the summertime. We're gonna do a community comment.
Well, I'm still waiting for Justin's relatives to pick through their artwork there, and when it's done, hopefully you will find have a couple of nice locations for it. So that's my update on that one, as far as that going on. So, I don't know if you're familiar with. They had quite the artist in their family. And they did a lot of sculptures made out of. Well, he can describe more of, out of metal objects that people would consider salvage, and I've always appreciated somebody who recycles something and does some wonderful work. So maybe that will come to fruition in the future.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. We ready to move on? Yes. All right. We're moving on to future agenda items and announcements.
Well, it seems like we should probably put the ad hoc committees work on the future agenda items.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So we would talk about again the art-based traffic calming,
Yeah.
the fire hydrant. We're going to be looking at them, right? Because that
Yeah.
our
Fire
next
hydrants,
meeting,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So that would be a decision, right?
yes,
Decision on
we
that
would
one.
be picking
Okay.
on
So
this form. Are they able to choose? Can they write an area? I haven't looked at it that closely.
can they do what?
Oh, addition. Oh,
Specific.
they preferred hydrant. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I see it. Yes, they can choose where they want to do it,
Yeah. I think
Okay.
there's at least two
Three,
locations,
and
or
then
three.
additional. Okay, thank you.
Was this for us?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was just gonna bring that up in announcements.
Announcements.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I can reach out to Sherry about meeting with our ad hoc as far as murals and sculptures. I think right now it's like, you know, finding places to put them basically. And then and then finding artists. So there's kind of a few
I know
steps.
Bob Benson is interested in putting a sculpture here.
yeah, Bob Benson.
Yeah, we actually wrote an application to try and get funding for Bob's work, but we didn't make the cut, but he would be amazing to work with.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe
familiar.
find another one. Yeah,
I'm not familiar with Bob Benson either, but
local.
He's a
Okay.
Sunamway member and does some really beautiful
Wait, I do remember.
The
Yeah,
roundabout.
Yeah, this was a
Culturally
while
relevant
ago,
work.
right? That we looked into.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
anything else?
On the future?
Well, the announcement. Were you going to talk about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, so just so to let you guys know, we did do a soft launch of the Blue Lake branding work that we had Noah from Visual Concepts work on. This has been a project that the Economic Development Commission has been working on for years, literally years. And we're finally at a point where, we are looking at some some signage in the future and just starting to kind of elevate our marketing and outreach and kind of updating signage in town. And so we had gone out, we were asked to do a kind of like a sign contest, which we did. Um, but I think when you look at branding and you look at things like logos and things, it's not an art contest. There's a lot of very specific thought and process that goes into putting together a brand. And
I
especially
agree.
these days when you're looking at social media platforms and you're looking at different applications, Noah is very accomplished at what he does. If you look at any of, the nice branding logos in Humboldt County and further, um, they usually come from Visual Concepts. So he worked on kind of bringing this together, and I think he did an amazing job. This was presented to the Economic Development Commission. They had some recommendations on changing a few aspects of it, which he did. And so we did kind of a soft launch. We needed to update some of just the entryway kind of. It's our non-permanent signage. When you come into town, there's a sign talking about downtown Blue Lake is ahead, and then in the Powers Creek district. So we installed those, and we've been getting really good feedback. Noah's put out some visual content as well, just to get feedback and kind of gauge how people are interacting with the branding and the ideas. And he put out some samples of merchandise, and we'll be starting to launch some of that as well. Some of the applications that we looked at with the branding really um, we wanted to be able to translate this logo across different applications, especially as we focus on marketing different recreation aspects of the community. So he put it together in a way that this logo could be applied specifically to different activities. So you can take this logo and surrounding it, you can put like for the mountain biking community, you can make it like a bike prank. And really highlight, to the mountain bikers. You can put a horseshoe around it and highlight it to the horse community. There's a lot that you can do. You can do this. We looked at it with roller skates. And so you're building a consistent identity across activities, which is something that's really important for us. So we're we're getting a lot of feedback. People are already asking us for merchandise, which is really exciting. So we'll be looking at launching some of that soon. We're starting to apply the typography. He took a lot of time on the typography. It's not as simple as just picking a font. There's a lot that goes into it. And like I said, specifically that its application to different mediums, including, print and like I said, social media, and different things. So I wanted to um, let you guys see this. And like I said, this is something that the EDC has been working on for a really long time to kind of bring this together. And we're going to just kind of keep working with it and kind of massaging it as we go. And luckily, it's a pretty fluid type of application with Noah. He's really good at, being able to make tweaks and changes. He's already done some branding with this for the bike park as well, which was really fun to see that he was able to take that, and that got some really good looks. This weekend we had the big enduro race, and we had probably 500 people out here on Friday and Saturday competing. We had, I think, over 220 riders, which is the most we've ever had. So, and people love the signage and the bike park idea and just kind of that branding. So like I said, I wanted to let you guys see that, and we're happy to hear any feedback. And yeah.
I want to say, me and my wife are both, well, she's a graphic designer, but I'm kind of like a graphic designer light.
Mhm.
But I've been, you get forced to do graphic design all the time because you have to. But yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm actually really impressed. And I agree with what you said about it not being an art contest because, you know, graphic design is very subtle and every little tiny mark matters, you know. Everything can be misconstrued the wrong way. Like one person might look at this and say that's a bike
Hmm.
wheel, and then someone else say that's a beer bottle cap.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
so it's just you're working with symbols, and a professional graphic designer is essential. That toiled away at it for a long time to
Mhm.
get it right. Because and I could tell he did, and it looks very safe. It looks like exciting and adventurous, and it's got an old font here
Mhm.
to give it kind of like a classic classic feel of a font there, and the the symbol here looks very just safe and adventurous. Really brings out the nature of Blue Lake, and it says established in 1910 in California. It looks very professional, and colors look good.
Mhm.
Got the river. It's got a bridge and seemingly the fir or redwood looking trees, and the mountains, which is good, and the rising sun, which on the yeah looks good, and yeah, just it looks, and it kind of pops from a distance, like you can see right
Mhm.
there. You can see it kind of looks like it popped out pretty good. This is the first time I've ever seen this, by the way. I'm just doing a judgment right
Yeah, no, I'm happy to hear
now.
it. And that's a lot of what he worked with. And there was a lot of, just us kind of watching, kind of feeding him, information, ideas, history of Blue Lake, where we're going recreation wise. And then he took that, and the a logo has to be pretty simple too. You can't overdo it. It has to be, you don't want too many colors, you don't want too much detail. So it's got to be kind of, that simple application.
It's really touchy too, because me and my wife, like I said, we've been trying to self-brand ourselves as artists for a while and using graphic design. And it on a project like this, you can't afford to just change it because oh we didn't like it. You know this is it. You got to get it right.
Yeah.
Uh, it's
I
hard to change a city's branding once it's set in place,
Mhm.
so you got to get it right.
I'm curious. You said you're working with him and just getting feedback,
Mhm.
giving feedback. When is the finalization? When is it sort of gonna? At least where's the aim of when it's finalized?
Yeah, so right now we're starting to kind of implement it. We've been starting to use it even like on our letterhead, and
Mhm.
I had to do some public hearing notices, and so I use this because the city doesn't really have a logo. We kind of use different things. We have this like this little old tree that
Yeah.
we use sometimes. There's the seal. Um, there was
Mm.
another kind of logo that had started to be used in like the early 2000s. It was kind of a clip art. It was kind of when, clip art first kind of came out, like where you could really use it. And they kind of put together some stuff, but we never had really a good, um, file of it. It was, very pixelated. And so we've just had a lot of like piece together things. And so we've been starting to kind of use this, I put it on like the draft meeting minutes and just starting to kind of transition ourselves. And so we'll see how it works. And like I said, it's semi, there's tweaks and changes that can be made, and he's going to start, working with us to kind of apply it to different space. One of the things that we're working on with the Chamber of Commerce is the entryway gateway signage coming into Blue Lake, because it's got some constraints there, and it would be nice. We've all been kind of looking at it going, it needs to be updated. um you know do we just continue to update it as it is, or is it time to kind of consolidate some stuff? There's things on that sign that don't apply anymore.
Every
um
time I go in and out of Blue Lake, I think that.
yeah. Yeah. So part of this was, in the future, we'd like to see something that works in partnership with the chamber sign as well, so that we don't have kind of this like, we don't want two signs. And so we've got to kind of work together to kind of merge this thought process to have an actual, installation, like whether it's a metal sign or something. So right now we don't have the resources really, but we want to use the fall and winter to start working on that. And that's something that that Noah will continue to help us with. He's also works with different sign fabricators, so he understands, how his stuff translates to metal or to wood, and so that's
T-shirts.
and he also has t-shirts. So
Yeah, T-shirts.
yeah,
They don't all T-shirts have a limited amount of colors,
absolutely.
and if you don't do the right things, it'll come out wrong. It'll look bad.
Yeah, and sizing, you want to be cognizant of sizing. You can't have such fine detail that, that all of a sudden it has to be so big, and then it doesn't apply to things.
And there's certain colors you can't even use.
There's a lot
There's
of,
certain colors that are copyrighted. You
and
know
there's
that?
just a lot that goes into color, how people see color and what color evokes from people. So there's a whole, like I said, this is what he does for a living. He's a professional at this.
Yeah.
We're not. And so this is how he goes through this process to see how people react, what people see, how people see things. So
Well, yeah. Let's compare. If you compare this to what you mentioned, you said it's not like you can just do an art contest for it, and that's so true, because
Nobody
there's
entered.
consequences to this.
yeah,
There's real consequences to what this is, opposed to what is going to be on a sidewalk, for a month, right?
right.
So,
Yeah.
does anybody else have anything?
I have one comment.
There you go.
Sorry. The
No.
O and of should be lowercase.
Oh, city that's the teacher anyhow.
Yeah, it does look a little
Depends
out
if
of.
you're doing all capitals, right? If you're doing all
They're not all
capitals,
capitals.
if they're not all capitals, then
It should be lowercase.
hmm.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Just saying. I'm not sure where that would be used, but
Right. Yeah, because the rest don't have that.
Yeah, they all
yeah,
don't.
they don't. It's
Rest
only
don't.
written right there, but
Yeah,
it
just
just
on the
Welcome to Blue Lake. Would two be lowercase? No. Could be, could not. It could be.
yeah, it could be, but city of Blue Lake, the of would not
But
be.
isn't there sometimes like a artistic expression?
Right.
You can, you can
Yeah,
break.
You're
You can.
of.
Yes,
You
it
can.
should, but
You can break the rules
it
sometimes, right?
bothered me. That's what it
Yeah,
like.
it stood out.
Why is that too big?
I'm sure he would be happy to.
Yeah,
change
yeah.
lowercase.
What if lowercase looks worse though?
So picky.
Sometimes like the wrong choice looks better.
Try it and see.
Yeah. You gotta see it.
Okay, that's all I.
That's what I actually my IP my manga series Neoterra. It's supposed to have two R's because Terra means Earth, with two R's.
Mm-hmm.
But I put it down to one R because I don't like how two R's look.
Mm-hmm.
That's my reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Artistic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
there
like,
you go.
well, just take the two words, put them together, take one of the R's off, and now it's one word, and it doesn't need two R's. It looks better. Anyway, that's
There
my.
you go.
We're gonna move on to community comment.
Yeah.
Community
I'm
comment.
good if you guys.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
So there's is this on? Okay. There's some things going on in Blue Lake that I think the commission should be aware of because Elizabeth McKay stepped down off the city council. The city council decided to have applications for her position, and applications are due by the end of the day on the 27th, September 27th, Friday. And then the council will have a special meeting on October 8th to look at those applications, and hopefully the people will be there that evening and decide on who will be in that position. That's a council decision. On the other hand, we have an election going on, and it's three people, 3 seats on the city council. We have 7 people running for city council. I am one of the people. And so on Thursday, September 26th, the League of Women Voters is having a candidates forum at the Mad River Grange from 7 to 8:30, sponsored by the Ladies of the Lake. And so that's an opportunity to meet all 7 of the candidates if they so choose to be there that evening. And it's a very well run forum that the league does a great job with that. And we wanted to make sure that that happened before our ballots would be sent out, which would probably be, from what I'm understanding, October 7th. And there is early voting, so we have to be cognizant of that. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Can you tell me the date of that again? Sorry. I didn't write it down.
Thursday, the 26th.
The
at
26th?
7.
Thursday, the 26th at 7 o'clock at the Mad River Grange. We're calling it a candidates, they call it a
Great.
candidates forum.
Cool. Thank you.
7 to 8:30.
Well, I don't think we're reopening public comment on non-agenda items. So I'm going to be on point here. I'll stay on what
No,
we're
you-
talking about here.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Well, no, I don't feel necessary.
Announcements.
Announcement. Okay. Thank you. So
Oh.
I thought we were still on the logo thing is where I wished.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we're on future agenda items and announcements. That's where we are.
That's where we were. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Well, and this
we
was
were.
an
Are we on the
announcement.
logo now or
We
The logo was an announcement, really.
it was announced? So I can comment on that announcement then as correct
Sure.
procedure.
should be. Yeah.
I look at this and I'm a very optimistic person. The colors in here to me are very dark. When I look at this, the biggest fear I have is what's called the blackening, and that's if Mother Nature takes and makes all our hills black by burning them, and that what this represents to me. The sun looks like it's going down for the last time or something over these mountains that have been burned, and it's kind of our last hurrah here. That's just my opinion. I love the railroad-inspired retro typography. I'm not an artist. All I can give you is my intake on the mood that it gives me, and it's depressing, is what it is. I like bright colors. The colors you picked out to go on the side of the restroom there all seem to be bright colors and representative. Where this is on the opposite end of the color spectrum. Of course, the colors as we talked about, the one's called beer foam. I guess that's okay to have. But the one that's black is called fertile soil, and it just doesn't represent fertile soil, and the whole thing just to me is depressing. I I hope we don't ever do the blackening, and that's my biggest fear. So we brand what we brand. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more community comment? No? All right. We ready for the next agenda?
I move to adjourn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's move to motion to adjourn.
Second. Right.
All right.
All in favor?
We are
Aye.
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 We are adjourned.